What up, folks? Welcome back to Ultrazilla Toys, and today I have a review of the SH Monsterarts Godzilla 2002. Alright, gang, it's time for a brand new Monsterarts, and we got the Godzilla 2002 from Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, or Kiryu. It's called Mechagodzilla, but you know what I'm saying. So yeah, there you go. There's your size comparison. The face-off you've wanted is here. There you have it. Shall we do other size comparisons while we're here? Why not? Let's do it. Let's just start this review off with some size comparisons. Here is Fireman. Fireman. We got Shin Godzilla here. The for real Shin Godzilla. And this little guy that we just reviewed, the Mega Kaiju, not so mega right there. How about Saber Athena from Robot Spirits? We got Kaiju Raijin from the Sovi Spirits. Big guy, big monster. And we got Pink Yoshi. Bam Presto Pink Yoshi. We got Ultraman Orb Origin here. Eva 01. And Rodan. I don't even know why Rodan is here, but she's here. Alrighty. Let's take a look. Because, as we know, SH Monsterarts has had a few issues, some major, some minor. It depends on your outlook on these things. I personally can write away a lot of issues as like battle damage and just, monsters aren't perfect. Kaiju aren't perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Okay? There you go. That said, the eyes have been a known issue with this one, and my eyes are alright. They're looking in the right direction. When you look at them like this, they might look a little weird, but honestly, looking at them from any other way, and they're totally fine. The other issue is the teeth, and I didn't completely come unscathed on the teeth. They're a little messy, but not so bad. Like the top teeth on here are okay. Bottom teeth look fine to me. They look fine, at first glance. The thing that I have a little problem with is that this fang is longer than this fang. Now that's fine too, because they don't need to be symmetrical. It does look a little odd. But again, you look at it from this way, totally fine. Look at it from this way, totally fine. And I have my Godzillas posed one way or the other. So there's that. He might have a little more gum right there too than here. But yeah, it's just different. It looks a little different. There's some gum coming down on there a little bit more. A little extra paint, but that's okay. I honestly, as far as paint goes, I don't really have too much more issue with that. Like, the spikes look really good in my opinion. I like them. You got a little extra spray here and there, but like it looks right. It doesn't look like off. And I dig the gradation, especially in this big one here and these bigger ones. They look really good. But all of them, gray from the, the charcoal gray into that light gray, pretty well. I really don't have a problem with it. There's a little bit of paint chipping here. It's really minor at the very edge here. I know some people had some spikes that were like a little warped. I don't seem to have that issue. Yeah. It looks decent to me, for sure. As far as his fingernails and his toenails, this one looks pretty good. I do have some issues with things popping off rather easy. Like, that's the first time that one did that, but this arm likes to pop off at the elbow, and his head popped off a couple times as I was prepping here. So just to note that I feel like there's a little more, this is a little lighter than these, but otherwise that's totally fine. The toenails, this foot looks really good. This foot looks good. I'm a little scuffed right there, but it's not so bad. And then otherwise, I mean, you get a lot of gray, and there's not much variation in that gray. You get a little bit of brushing here and there, like for some darker areas, but it's not like a ton, you know, and I'm fine with that. Inside the mouth, you got the tongue here, which is painted a nice, like maroonish with a nice black wash on it. So that's good, and it's even done so on the bottom of his tongue. So, and I really like how that looks. That looks awesome to me. The eyes, again, are painted well. I like the colors with the yellow in there with the black. That looks good. Looks real good. Yeah. It's not terrible. It's really not. So, that's really the paint. The sculpt on this guy is pretty superb. I think this is pretty spot on. Another thing people were like complaining with, I saw a lot of like people concerned about the jaw being too like droopy. I'm definitely happy to report mine is not. I think that's pretty spot on. That looks pretty good. I am getting some paint flecks, but I can't tell from where. You know, like I definitely like a few times I've handled this guy. I've gotten a few little, yeah, see? Some paint flecking, but I really can't tell from where it's flecking from. It's black, so it must be, you know, whatever like little bit of wash they have on this guy flecking off, but I don't see anywhere. Again, it's black, so it's not so bad, because it's, I mean, he's dark already, so it's not really too bad. There are some glossy bits, but so maybe. But let's look again. Head sculpt looks really good. I like the snout, looks nice. We covered the teeth already and the eyes and stuff, but the shape of everything is perfect. I like his little ears there. I look really good. Again, jawline is pretty spot on in my opinion. Yeah, these neck ruffles, I was never the hugest fan. It was like, for me, when I saw that design, I was kind of turned off by it. Again, your mileage is going to vary. Lots of mileages vary on, you know, your Godzillas because, you know, we're all from different eras, and this might be your first Godzilla if you're young, and, you know, I won't blame you for that. But for me, it was like my bazillionth Godzilla, and at the time, I was like, I don't like it that much. This is just odd to me, this whole area. It's grown on me, you know, after a while, and I do dig those movies, so there's that. But it looks good. It's translated well as a figure. A lot of great texture going on right through the middle here, on the sides. That looks great. And then, you know, the rest of his, you know, body is textured, you know, from top to bottom. That's what Monsterarts does, and they do it so well. There's no doubt about it. They do it great. Pretty spot on. Pretty nice looking. I don't have any like weird areas of like no sculpt or messed up sculpt or anything like that. So looks great. The tail looks incredible. It's really long. Looks very nice. We covered the spikes again. They look fantastic. His dorsal fins. Beautiful stuff. And, you know, this is the part that I really did like. And I liked it so much better when they converted it into gray from the old, you know, previous, like, purplish, pinkish that was going on. So dig it. So I think this is a fantastic Godzilla sculpt here. No doubt about it. It looks really great. All right, let's check out the articulation on this guy. And we got to be a little careful. This guy, he's got some parts that like to pop off. But starting at the mouth, his mouth opens nice and wide. His tongue waggles. So that's pretty cool. He does get a little slack-jawed, as we've seen with some of the Monsterarts lately. If you don't close it right, but it's not really a problem because it is on a ball joint. Speaking of ball joints, you got a double ball joint at the head there, and at the neck, at the base of the neck here, you really don't get much motion out of it, but you know, you got some good, you got good motion at the head, that's for sure. But these neck pieces, you can move them a little bit, but the design is not very conducive into high articulation at that point at either spot. But it looks good, you know, and you can move it just a little bit, which, you know, helps. This Godzilla was incredibly stiff because of all of that anyway. You do have a nice ball joint here at the shoulder, which works well. This is one of the points that likes to pop off on me right here at the elbow. It's got a nice floating piece there, though. That's good. Always enjoy that aspect of Monsterarts. Oh, it's coming apart. There it is. This piece floats. There you go. There's the ball joint, double ball joint. All these double ball joints. You do have a hinge at the wrist here. So we can. Ooh, it's very tight on mine. Yeah, it's kind of tight. Kind of tight wrist. That's a little scary. Swivel's alright. Swivel's alright here as well. There you go. Hands pop off. Yeah. Also, no accessories with this guy, you know? They usually come with like some other hands, but not this time. Which is fine because the other hands usually are the same hands almost. It's really odd. Alright, so you got a nice big squeaky ball joint at the chest and then at the waist, and both work decent enough. If you could get over all the squeaking, which is fine. Yeah, you're not getting a ton of motion out of this one, but you can go in and up. So that's decent enough. And the top works okay as well. Again, this is not a super articulated Godzilla design. I mean, it's a super articulated figure, but you know, the design itself doesn't lend itself for it. Big ball joint at the hip. Can go in, which is nice. You get some really good in, actually. That's pretty good. And you could go all around with it. And you got the nice floating piece at the knee, which is beautiful. It's a double jointed knee, but you're not really getting super range of motion out of that. You can swivel it around a little bit as well. Then for the foot, you got a floating piece here, which is kind of invisible, which is nice at the ankle. And then the foot turns and goes up and down and all around. Anything you need. So very nice there. Tail, of course. Lots of beautiful segments here. You got 1, you got 2, you got 3 in there, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I'm gonna stop counting, but a lot. And it's a really long tail, really nicely done. And it holds its own, you know? It's really cool. You can do a lot with it. Really stays up really nicely. I don't feel like it's gonna fall at all, so it's great. It's a great tail. One of the best ones, I think. Very nicely done. And overall, I think this is a decent figure. I do have like some minor gripes with the teeth, and you know, like the popping out is a problem, but I mean, we've had these problems before. Nothing new, which, I mean, it doesn't make it any better, but it doesn't make it any worse. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just used to Monsterarts delivering this type of quality at this point. So, but I don't think it's like the worst thing ever. I've definitely had worse from this line. I've definitely had better. But I don't even think this is middle of the road. I think this is like a good 75 to 80% good effort. And maybe even more than that, you know, maybe even 85 and 90, depending on, you know, what you thought of any small issue I had here. So it's a good looking piece. It really is. And I think it's a really good representation of this particular Godzilla. I probably should show you what passed for the other version of this one. Before I even do that, here's the Bandai vinyl of Kiryu that just recently came out with it. That's pretty cool size. I almost feel like the size here is even a little better than the actual Monsterarts version, which is just slightly taller. I don't know. So yeah, I just want to show you that. And here's the Sakai version that we got, you know, a while back, which is very, very different. A very different design of this, like the more extreme design, but I really like this one as well. It's super cool, but this is more accurate, obviously. But yeah, there you go. There's that. Alright guys, and that's all I have for this review. I think it's a good piece, so I've already said that, you know. I have nothing left to say, and since I filmed this like final section way later than all the rest, my voice is starting to go for the day, so yay! Alright, so please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know your thoughts on this particular Godzilla. How did you fare with it if you got it? And what do you think? What do you think? Is it something that you're going to get? What are you looking forward to next from this line? Let me know. There's a new Kiryu coming, a redo of the Kiryu, like a more battle damaged, I believe, version. So looking forward to that. That should be very interesting. Alright guys, so please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Until next time, peace out, peeps.